We're going to explore a single powerful verse from the Bhagavad Gita today. And it's a statement so profound, it really tries to reframe our entire understanding of who we are, what it even means to act, and really the nature of our existence.
But this isn't just some abstract philosophical idea. This teaching comes from a moment of intense human crisis. Picture this, the great warrior Arjuna standing on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, and he's just paralyzed with grief. He looks out and sees his family, his teachers, his own people, and the thought that he has to fight them, that he will be the one to kill them, it just shatters him. His whole world, his pain, it's all rooted in this one terrible thought, I will kill them.
And in response to this deep anguish, Krishna offers something that goes way beyond the battle itself. Just listen to the original Sanskrit for a moment. Ya anam veti hantaram, yash chainam manyate hatam, ubhau tau na vijanito, na yam hanti na hanyate.
And here's the translation. It is so direct, so uncompromising. It hits you with this incredible paradox, right? If someone is killed, how can it possibly be that the self isn't involved, not in the killing and not in being killed? That contradiction, well, that's the very heart of what we need to unpack here. Okay, so let's dive into this. To really feel the full weight of the verse, we have to look at the exact words Krishna chooses. It's fascinating. You see two different words for perception, vid, which is like a deep knowing, a belief, and then man, which is more like thinking or considering. Then of course you have han, the root for the action itself, killing. And then there's vijan, which means to not understand correctly. It points to a really fundamental kind of ignorance. So Krishna points out two sides of the very same mistake. First, you've got the error of the active agent, the person thinking, I am the doer, I am the killer. And then you have the error of the passive subject, the one who thinks, I am the one being acted upon, I am being killed. Krishna says, look, both of these views, they come from the exact same place of misunderstanding. And you have to notice the subtlety here. It doesn't matter if you believe with absolute certainty that the self is the doer, that's the vedi part, or if you just kind of hold it as an opinion, which is manyate. When we're talking about the true self, Krishna says both, your deep knowledge and your casual thoughts, are actually forms of profound ignorance. This really just brilliantly illustrates the structure of his whole argument. He just systematically dismantles the entire framework. First, he denies both the active concept of killer and the passive one of killed. Then, with that phrase, upau tau na vijanita, he drives the point home. Both sides are equally wrong. It's a symmetrical error. And finally, he gives us the absolute final statement, nahanti nahanyate. It neither kills nor is it killed. That whole language of action, it just doesn't apply here. So the whole thing hinges on this one crucial concept, doership. It's the assumption we all make that our true self, the Atma, is the agent, the doer behind our actions. This verse isn't really just about the act of killing. It's a radical redefinition of your identity, meant to separate your eternal essence from all the temporary roles you play and actions you perform.
So let's bring this all the way back to Arjuna's crisis. Remember, his suffering comes completely from that one statement, I will kill them. He's identifying his ego, his temporary self, as the doer. Krishna's response isn't to say the killing is okay. It's to show Arjuna that his whole starting point, that the I he thinks is about to act, is not his true eternal self. The very source of his guilt is built on a flawed idea of who he is.
And so we come back to it, the central, unshakable declaration. After taking apart the language, the logic, and the identity behind the action, we're just left with this pure statement. The self neither kills nor is killed.
And that leaves us with a pretty profound and vital question, doesn't it? If our true nature, our deepest self, is just an uninvolved witness, eternally separate from this whole drama of doing and being done to, then what does it actually mean for us to act in the world? What then is our responsibility? That's the thought this verse leaves us with to reflect on.